Cameron. Episode 24. I'm going to just go ahead and brand this as NSFW. Kids, put earmuffs on because I'm about to go off on Dylan Flores.
Oh, boy.
Let me just talk about the epic collapse. After Duvall hits a bomb and then hits a 2-run triple, Floro blows it with 3 runs. I mean, you got a World Series ring and that's what you bring? No. Listen, brother, he's going to probably have another 2 or 3 chances. Then what's he going to be? Like a 1-inning setup guy? No bueno, bro. That reminded me of last season or the season before, those epic collapses when you got a 2 or 3 run lead and then you got a guy that comes in and just throws meatballs right down the middle.
That was some meatballs. It's interesting because you called me at what was that, 9:00 at night?
Yeah, I'll tell you where I called you from, especially. But this is important because I got conned into joining another one of these so-called clubs, the Moose. Yeah. Now I'm some kind of loyal honorary. I don't know. Where's the hat? Let me get the hat real quick. Let me put it on. Just hold on.
So you were at the Moose Club,
right? And now let me tell you which Moose, because there's multiple Moose clubs around.
Really?
I was at the Perrine Moose down by my hood.
Yeah.
So then they gave me this, like at the end of the night.
Official Moose hat.
I don't even think it's gonna fit. Which way does it go? Like that? Something like that.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway. So now
Let me
tell you what the Moose is all about. It's like a movie night on Monday, and the median age of the members there is like 70. So it's like a old ladies movie night, popcorn, all that good stuff.
But you watched the game there.
I watched the game on my phone because it was movie night, and you can't talk during movie night because the old ladies get really pissed off.
Well, I'm glad you joined, Tom.
Yeah, so
I'm glad you're a Moose.
I'm a Moose, and I'm also a member of the American Legion Post 31.
Yeah, I've actually dropped you off at the Post.
Yep. Thank God. Yeah. They treat you pretty good down there.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So let's figure out how we're going to give these passes away to leading off.
Yeah.
Can we put the chat on? Yeah. So here's the deal. I don't care if you comment on this on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. If you want to go
get in touch with us. We'll get you some tickets.
The first person to send a message that wants to go to what would be Fan Fest, but it's leading off.
Leading off?
And I've got tickets to the 4:35 on Saturday. So if you're available to go at 4:35, first person that chimes in with Adam Duvall's number.
That's a great one. I love it.
Yeah. Good. He was great yesterday. I think his bat's starting to warm up, and we talked about that, man. Like he's got to get, but fine. Now, as we get closer to the start of the season, that's when you want to get warm.
I was thinking yesterday, Tommy, about one thing that happens. I was talking with super fan James Willoughby, who we're going to have come on, and he made a comment which we know is true, which is hitting has to catch up with pitching. Yeah, in spring training, the pitching always is. The pitchers come earlier. It just takes longer for the bats to get into the groove. And I was wondering, Tommy, watching what happened last night, is with this limited, with these batters seeing these pitchers over and over again. I wonder if it becomes where they can dial in, in this limited sample. Right, you're playing 4 teams.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that's going to affect these batters are going to get used. They're going to dial in these.
You start seeing the same guys over and over and over again.
I remember, pitching and a guy, against a good batter, and the batter's just fouling it off. And he just every
like 20 pitch.
Every pitch he's just dialing it in. And when you see that guy almost inevitably gets a base hit. And this is that kind of thing where they're seeing these guys over and over again, and they're getting it down.
Yeah, I'll tell you who looked good is Zach Pop again, the Rule 5 guy that we got from.
That's what I was going to say. Is there was some bright spots last night.
Yep, Blyer was great. Pop was great. Hoyt, who I don't usually like that much, he showed up. Pablo played great. Yeah. So, he gave up 3 runs, but that was it. But Floro got the loss.
Listen,
well deserved for sure.
Yeah. As upset as you are, that reminded me of sports. I had a great sports Zen moment a couple years ago. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a Washington Capitals player, but they lost a game they should have won. Like they had swept the series before. They go into this big series, and they just get blown out like 7-1 in the first game. And it wasn't Ovechkin, but it was one of the other stars. And they're like, hey, what? Like, they're trying.
I love it how you try to sneak hockey into every one of these shows, bro.
And the guy about Washington Capitals, your neck of the woods. And
Fanny Navarro. No, he's not Fanny. Come on, number 90.
Fanny, give us the right number.
What's up? That's so wrong. You could at least Google it. It's one more than 13.
Fanny.
Jeez.
And they asked the player, like, hey, this, like, look at you guys been sitting around waiting to play this, like what, and kind of trying to get the guy into a panic. And the guy just deadpan, hockey, looks at the guy and is just like, what are we going to do? We're going to go home, go to bed, come back tomorrow and
do the same thing
beat
again.
Their ass. Like, I think that, that's the thing about these pitchers. So hopefully it was just a one-off night. And he brings it back.
Well, it all falls on one guy. That's it. Like, that's it. That's the only
Fanny wins.
Did she come? No, listen. Tommy. It's one. Fanny, no. Fanny, you have to actually put in the number on the chat. That's not going to work. All right, so let me tell you something cool. So yesterday, Brittany, I think her name's Bassant from the Chamber South, had on two guys from the Marlins. One guy was the vice president of ticketing. The other guy was the director of fan experience and innovation. So they've got a deal now. This is unbelievable because remember when we went to Houston, the park up at Palm Beach, the beers were like $14. Here's the deal: $3 hot dogs, $5 beers, $10 tickets.
Are you serious?
$10 tickets. You can get into the game for $10. A beer, beer for $5. That's only like a couple bucks more than the Moose Lodge.
I feel sometimes like I'm an ambassador for the game, trying to get people.
Shout out to Moose Perrine.
I gotta tell you something. On a Sunday afternoon in July, to go sit inside the air conditioning, and watch a game at those prices. Like, it's a nice way to spend the Sunday. I mean, My girls like going. My wife, although I gotta tell you something, we got to talk to somebody because when they got rid of the Cuban corner, it really affected my quality of life because my wife she likes baseball, but what she liked was, we live right by there, but we know where to park for free.
Yeah,
we would go, and for my wife, it was just like going out to dinner, right? She just wanted to get her food, relax, and I got to watch 3, 4, 5 innings of baseball. I couldn't stay for the whole game because my girls were ready to go, but it was we just literally go have dinner at Marlins Park. So Marlins, two things, and we didn't even talk about the most Did you see the most controversial thing that's happened with the Marlins in a long time?
No, what's that?
They got rid of the fish tank.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you something. We got to put that fish tank back.
I'm just afraid of like people getting drunk and falling in there on the $5 beers.
I got to tell you something. I don't. We have to put. It's interesting because I was listening to Joe Rose this morning, and he was saying like, you got to look at this through the lens of they're trying to get rid of the stench of Lorio.
Yeah,
and that's just one more thing, like the home run, thing.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I don't know, man. We need to put that fish tank back. That was so distinctive. Every time there was a national broadcast, they would bring up the fish tank. It looked cool.
It is super cool.
Yeah. So where are those fish? We want them back.
Yeah. So no game today. Marlins are off. Play tomorrow against the Nationals, and it's 6-0 going tomorrow. So let's see if he can. Maybe they're going to give him 3 or 4 innings.
Have we talked about Sandy getting the nod to?
I didn't, but it's crazy because the day before, Donnie Baseball wasn't going to say anything.
Well, he said we don't have an ace,
right?
And we're not naming an ace,
right? But now they got one, and well deserved.
Yeah,
he's had an awesome spring, and he's probably got another 2 starts before the regular season starts. So
it would be interesting to talk to if we had access to him to ask Sandy what he did in the off season, because he definitely is one of those players that just came like he just looked like he was in
Pablo too, though. Yeah, I think all those guys came back with the determination that we got to go past division series this time, but everybody's predicting the Braves. Do you see that?
Oh no, dude. I got to tell you something.
Ugh, gross.
One thing, it's got to be such a motivating factor because, everyone just comes in like, it's like, what it is as a lawyer, I'll tell you, you go against certain people. Well, no, I'm going to bring a football analogy. The Canes, back in the day, what made what the Canes did extraordinary.
Are you talking about like 03 Canes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made them
Romberg's
extraordinary
team?
was they were so dominant and so crazy hard to play that when they showed up, whoever they were playing was just keyed up, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to be embarrassed on national TV. So
Yeah.
you're playing that guy at his best.
But a lot of them got embarrassed.
They did, but that's what made it incredible, because those guys were like, the Canes weren't sneaking up on anybody, right?
Right.
Everyone knew what was coming their way, and they didn't want to get embarrassed. And they fought like tigers. And I think that there's a little bit of that here, where it's just like, I wonder what if you're with the Marlins organization, it's like everything runs through the Braves. Like everything you do, like if you wake up,
the Braves filter,
when you're stretching, you just got to think like, what do I got to do today to beat those Braves? I mean, that's where we're at. It's an interesting division of baseball, because they have been so dominant for so long.
Yeah. Even back in the old days when they had just like the rotation from hell with Glavine and those. Yeah. Maddox. Ugh, gross.
Remember little Maddox?
He was a Cubby though. I can't hate him too bad.
Maddox reminds me of this new breed of pitcher. We were talking the other day. Like, you'll see this guy. He's like 5'10", 190 pounds, right? Like, well built, like not a skinny, weird looking guy. And then he's just throwing what he's throwing. Like, you just can't, like, it doesn't.
You mean like Kyle Hendricks style?
Yeah. And like even their windup isn't, it's a very simple, tight windup. I mean, it reminds, they get the ball to the plate so fast, like not a big leg kick,
right?
Not a big rotation. It's just very compact, and then they're throwing what they're throwing. It's an interesting thing to see. We have, these guys that are throwing triple digits. They don't look like the big unit, right?
No.
They look like
except maybe like Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, he's big,
no.
But I think he's suspended for who knows what.
Well,
so let me talk about Tony Bosch. He's got a show on Friday afternoon at 3:00. It's called The Ugly Truth with Nick and Tony. Today, his guest is Ulysses the Monster Diaz.
Wow, really?
The fastest KO in combat sports ever.
Yeah.
I think he's 12-1 in both bare knuckle, regular boxing, and MMA.
Dude, I got to tell you something.
I'm definitely not going to mess with that.
As a sports fan, though, I got to tell you, that's what's interesting about watching those guys. We've seen a couple of those guys come in, those bare knuckle champions. And I'm glad back when I would go to bars like that, I'd look at that guy and be like, oh, yeah, I'll fight that guy.
What's up with that man bun, bro? Next thing you know, wow.
Oh, exactly. Like, it's funny how they, and it's, once you start paying attention, you see they move like cats. You can see a little bit of the athleticism in it.
Right.
But they're so small, and they're so, it's
their
funny.
hands are so fast.
It's funny.
It's going to be bad.
That's
so
cool.
Fanny Navarro, apparently she's going to try to slip in not putting number 14.
Come on.
Chat.
We're getting Fanny wins.
Fanny wins anyway.
Fanny wins.
I've got her email, so I could transfer the
Fanny
passes
wins.
to her. Take your kid.
That's one of our. I love old school names.
That is an old school name,
like Esther and Paloma,
Opal,
and Fanny is Fanny's up there. You don't see a lot of Fannies anymore. So thanks for listening, Fanny, and we'll see you at the Fan
brings in
Fest.
critters too. Like, she's from the Eco Adventures from the Miami-Dade Park system.
Yeah, give her a shout out.
She brought a the other guy brought some crazy lizard.
Fanny, you finally gave him what he wanted.
Atta girl. Fanny's our only.
Give
fan.
Fanny a plug. Fanny, what does she do?
So she's got a show. It's on Mondays at 1:00? I think Mondays at 1. #playball. Mondays at 1. She works for Miami-Dade County Park System, Eco Adventures. They do all kinds of cool stuff. But she brings in critters, and she's got another guy that comes in. I forget his name now.
Oh, is that who? That and Denise? You're the one that holds the.
Yeah, Denise likes holding snakes. I don't know what that. Hold on, wait a minute. I told you this was not safe for work.
What was that? What was that? Yeah, the
Tegu show. Earmuffs.
Tegu.
Yeah, that was the other. That was. I think his name is Willie.
Willie
Cotto is the. Yeah, there you go. Is the guy that came. But they brought frogs in. They brought a bunch of other weird critters. I don't.
That's so cool.
Snakes, big old snakes too. Yeah, I just stay over there behind the glass. I'm always in here. Yeah, but Denise, she's a snake.
That's awesome, Fanny. Thanks for listening. We'll look forward to.
So I will email you the information about how we're gonna hook up Willie there. She put up Willie. Shout out to Willie. So that's Mondays at 1. But definitely tune in today for Tony Bosch's show The Ugly Truth with Nick and Tony. That's Nick Turnbull, the guy that still holds the record at FIU for most interceptions.
Really?
Yeah, in a season and career. And I think he played for the Falcons and the Bears. He was on that Bears team. Remember when they played Peyton Manning and that was the Super Bowl here, 2007?
Yep.
He was on that Bears team.
Wow.
Oh, we got Jacoby Brissett, by the way.
Good.
Put a little pressure on Tua.
Awesome. Yep.
And Fitzpatrick's gone.
I thought
he's a Washington Redskin.
You switched me on Fins, and
we'll do a 1 minute.
It was very
Dolphins.
interesting. That Jacoby Brissett signing was really interesting. Like it was really like that nationwide. That was like, oh, this is an interesting pickup.
And then they got Will Fuller, the receiver from the Texans, and so it's another target. So now what do you do with that pick at 3? Do you go get that beast from Oregon, the lineman, or do you go after the Heisman Trophy winner?
Yep.
Let's see what happens. But yeah, I think you had to have another backup because Fitzpatrick's gone. So I think Brissett's a good addition. And he backed up what? Last year he was a Colts backup.
Yep.
So yeah, I think he's going to be a good addition. And you add another target at Fuller. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we got Fish this weekend, Saturday. Is that a night game Saturday?
Yeah, 6.
Saturday night. Hold on. Let's give the accurate information. But so Fan Fest or
Not Fan
leading
Fest.
off. Leading off is from 3 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, the 20th. So Saturday at 6 o'clock against the Nationals, and then Houston on Sunday. And that'll be Trevor Rogers pitching, trying to shore up that final spot. And he's 2-0 with a 4.32.
Yeah, exactly.
For the spring. So I think that's it, man. What else you got? Anything else?
That's it. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll see you out there tomorrow. Hopefully you bring the video camera.
Yeah, we're going to definitely video the I keep wanting to call it Fan Fest, leading off party. But I guarantee it. Are they going to have $3 hot dogs and $5 beers? I'm going to test that theory. Right. So that's it. Episode 24.
Thanks, everybody.
Preview.